This week's 48 Hours investigates the kidnapping and murder of a tech executive turned cannabis entrepreneur. His name is Tushar Atre. He was attacked, he was kidnapped in his multi-million-dollar California home. This was back in October of 2019.
50-year-old Atre was last seen leaving the area at 3 a.m., believed to have been forced into a white BMW SUV belonging to his girlfriend.
As you'll see here, Mr. Atre breaks from the driveway and he runs. He's pursued by one of the suspects. He tackles him right here. And as you can see, there's a struggle.
If this was a robbery, why chase him, tackle him, and take him away? The unknown voices were heard asking about a safe Tushar kept in his bedroom that investigators say contained $80,000 in cash. Nearly 6 hours later, at his cannabis farm, sheriff's deputies discovered the bloody body of Tushar Atre. Former California police chief and 48 Hours consultant Steve Sircone.
His hands were handcuffed in the back with flex ties. An apparent gunshot wound to the back of the head. He'd been stabbed multiple times. This was a whodunit from the start.
4 men were arrested in connection with the kidnapping and murder of Santa Cruz tech executive Tushar Atre, a case that shocked the community back in 2019. Authorities identified the suspects as Joshua Camps, Stephen Lindsay, Kaleb Charters, and Kurtis Charters, who prosecutors say were involved in the kidnapping that ultimately led to Atre's death. Over the past several years, 3 of the suspects were already convicted and sentenced to life in prison. Now the final suspect, Joshua Camps, has also been found guilty by a jury of kidnapping, burglary, and first-degree murder. With this verdict, all 4 men connected to the case are now facing life sentences for their roles in the killing.
Investigators say Atre had various business ventures and are looking into whether that has anything to do with the murder.
We do have reason to believe that this motive was possibly robbery. We're not going to get into exactly what the suspects were after.
Back at Pleasure Point, some residents believe the crime was far from random. Many of Atre's neighbors describe questionable activity and illicit behavior. The sheriff's office isn't confirming the validity of those claims, only saying it's looking into a motive.
According to prosecutors, the group targeted Tushar Atre at his home in the Pleasure Point area of Santa Cruz County during the early morning hours of October 1st, 2019. Investigators say Atre was kidnapped from his residence and forced into a vehicle before being driven away from the property. Just hours later, authorities discovered Atre's body in the Santa Cruz Mountains, sparking a major investigation involving multiple law enforcement agencies. Detectives spent months gathering evidence before eventually identifying the 4 suspects believed to be responsible for the crime. The arrest brought national attention to the case as investigators revealed details of what they described as a planned robbery that turned deadly. Now, with the conviction of the final suspect, the case that began nearly 6 years ago has reached a major milestone in the justice process. While the case may now be closed in the courtroom, the impact of this crime will not be forgotten. 4 young men will now spend the rest of their lives behind bars for their roles in this case, while Tushar Atre lost his life to a senseless murder. Atre was more than just a headline. He was a businessman, a member of his community, and someone whose life was taken far too soon. A tragic outcome that continues to leave a lasting impact on the Santa Cruz community. Like, comment, share, and subscribe for more updates on major cases and breaking news.